Alright guys, how we doing? Welcome back to another video. Today we look at the 22nd ranked NFL player for the year of 2023, AJ Brown, wide receiver for the Eagles. Now I believe AJ Brown came through the same college system as DK Metcalf. In fact, he was a participant of that viral photo back in the day. That's pretty much all I really knew of him. And when you think about a guy coming through in the shadows of DK Metcalf, you think, there's no way that he can match him for skill and for production and especially on this list. But it just so happens that he's come in at number 22, which is incredible. 22nd best ranked player in the NFL by his peers. First thing we're going to do before we look at his video, watch his plays and see just how good he is on the feet, let's have a look at his story. Let's have a look at his stats. AJ Brown is a wide receiver, 26 years of age, June 30th, 1997, 6'1", 226 pounds. So he's not small. Second round of the 2019 draft with pick number 51. Got drafted by the Titans and played there from 19 to 21, that's 3 seasons. Then went to the Eagles and he's played there ever since. He made a Pro Bowl in 2020 and in 2022, so he's made a Pro Bowl with 2 different teams. Second team All-Pro in 2022. Runs a 4.49 40-yard dash, 36.5 inches vertical, 10 foot even on the broad jump, 19 reps on the bench, and 18 on the Wonderlic. I don't know why they include that. I really don't. No offense, of course. I mean, he is big. He's built. He's not as built as DK Metcalf. He's not as tall as DK Metcalf. But he plays just as well, apparently. So, last year, 17 total games played, 1,496 receiving yards, bringing his career total through 4 seasons to 4,491. Through his career, he's averaged 16.5 receiving yards per catch, 35 receiving touchdowns, including 11 last year, 2 fumbles, from 88 receptions. That's 1 in 44. I mean, when you're coming up against NFL caliber tacklers every single play, that's not too bad, is it? So through 60 total career regular season games, he has amassed 4,491 yards and 35 receiving touchdowns. He's gone deep in the postseason with Tennessee in his rookie season in 2019 and also with Philadelphia last year in 2022. In fact, they made the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. And in that game, he had 6 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown in the 38-35 loss. So he was that close to winning his first Super Bowl ring. I'm going to say the Philadelphia Eagles, with the amount of players that they've had on this list, they've got to be up there as far as legitimate Super Bowl contenders. But either way, it's about time we have a look at his highlights and listen to what his fellow players have to say about AJ Brown.
Hey, I'm not locked in, bro. I got my AirPods in my ear. Not locked in.
Well, that's an oversight.
AJ, what a crazy addition he was for us last year. Came in as a really explosive piece for the offense. Guy that did it all.
I think AJ Brown has deceptive speed.
What a duo, hey? What a duo. AJ Brown on one side and DeVonta Smith on the other.
It's easy to fall asleep because you don't think this guy can get behind you, so.
Oh, and of course, the likes of Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey, and Jordan Mailata protecting the quarterback to make sure he can indeed throw those throws so that AJ Brown can catch those catches.
Once they do, it's pretty much ball game from that point.
What an offense.
Jalen Hurts has been locked in so far. Wants it all and has Brown. One play to get in the end zone.
Yeah, I think AJ Brown is really a really complete receiver. He's very strong at the catch point. He can win in press. It's almost like in press situation, he's taking the fight to the DB because he's just so physical at the top of the route.
Is it a touchdown?
It
Do
is.
you think yes, it is a touchdown?
He's built Solid matchup for any cornerback.
A.J. Brown.
You have a guy like Hurts dropping the ball on the outside shoulder, and he can go up and make those tough catches even when your hand's in the bread basket and he's still coming down with it. He's not somebody light either that you can push around. So, I mean, you got to be able to match his physicality.
Most guys, when they catch a slant, they kind of slow
Amon Ra. It's been a while.
down at the catch point to make sure they catch it and keep going. AJ's running through the whole catch.
Once locked in, defenses failed to lock up A.J. Brown last season.
You know, his ability to catch the ball, and it's not just that, it's his ability to take it upfield. He turns into a running back.
Not afraid to lower his shoulder, eh?
You know, he's hard to tackle, you know, and he can turn a 5-yard catch into a 60-yard touchdown.
45. A.J. Brown. 40. 35. 30. 25. 20. 15. 10.
Clinical running style, I like it.
Touchdown. A.J. Brown.
I'm telling you, bro, we keep it at this rate, bro. We're gonna win like the best celebration award, bro.
I would say against Tennessee, it was one play, he caught a pass, and I think he scored, and it got called back, and then he went back and scored again the next play.
Lofting deep again. Brown is wide open, and he catches. He's going to walk in backwards.
That game, you can tell he had a chip on his play. I think he had back-to-back touchdowns on us. They called it back, and he turned around and scored the next play. You're like...
All right, I take that back. Lane Johnson.
Scored the next play. You're like, oh, it's one of those days.
Well, you a G-code.
You know, his quarterback almost has that kind of arrogance to throw him the ball in any type of situation, which I think that's another quality as a receiver you want to try to develop, to where it's like coverage may not be favorable, but my guy's down there somewhere, I'm going to give him a chance.
In Super Bowl 57, all Brown needed was a chance.
Touchdown, Brown! Touchdown, Eagles! A.J. Brown!
How did he put off the cornerback? Why did the cornerback bite on that? He's turned. They're facing each other. Brown.
All Brown needed.
So Brown's looking at the ball just that little bit early, which means that the cornerback or the safety, whoever that is, thinks the ball's coming, but it's still going to be a good second before it comes down.
Was a chance.
And I mean, Brown knew where it was all along, right? That's the advantage of being a receiver. The cornerback is reactive, and unfortunately in that case, too reactive.
Touchdown, Brown! Touchdown, Eagles! A.J. Brown!
Him in Philly now, you really seeing his game, you know, elevate more. You know, they passing the ball a little more, and you really seeing them succeed in that offense.
Hurts throwing, end zone touchdown! A.J. Brown gets the feet down.
He's got Brown, who beats a man at the 5 and slashes them for the touchdown.
Nature's free.
Solid player, that's for sure. Not a player I've seen play a lot, and that's probably the reason I just, I don't have a huge amount to say personally. But from what I see, he's solid. He is solid, that's for sure. 4.49 for the 40-yard dash, almost 1,500 receiving yards last year. I mean, he deserves to be on the list, and that he is. All right, so the last thing we're going to do is place A.J. Brown on a rugby team, if he was to play, at 6'1" and 103 kg, 226 pounds. He's got enough size about him. I'm gonna call him a hybrid between, like they said, a receiver and a running back, right? The way that he plays, the way that he runs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him in the hybrid between the winger and the second 5/8. We're going to put him in at center. He's going to be the glue between the winger and his inside man. He is going to get a decent amount of ball, not the most, but certainly not the least. So he's going to have an opportunity to run multiple times in a game. He's going to have the opportunity to go in and look for work as well. It's not as if he's stuck out there on the wing. He's just that one person in. There's going to be more action, and I feel like he's going to flourish with that action. He's going to need to make split-second decisions on defense. He's going to need to assess what's happening in front of him on defense, work with his outside and inside man, and like I said, be the glue between them. If he gets beaten on the outside, he's going to have to work with his winger. If he gets beaten on the inside, he's going to have to rely on his second 5/8 to make that tackle. It'd be interesting. It would be. A centre is kind of like the jack of all trades in the back line. Whereas the likes of a flanker is the jack of all trades in the forward pack. I hope you guys have learned something as far as, positions in rugby whilst coming down this list with me. We are coming to the end of this list, and being that I have placed, 78 different players in a rugby team, I feel like I am sort of saying a lot of the same things, but in saying that, I don't think any single person would have watched every single one of these videos, and if you have, well, you're an absolute legend. In fact, anyone watching this is an absolute legend, and I want to say thank you once again. We are 20 players away from number one. Who that's going to be, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Is it going to be Patrick Mahomes? Could well be. They won the Super Bowl. I'm guessing it probably will be, come to think of it. Aaron Donald should be up there. Still is up there. He's definitely going to be in the top 20, I can tell you that. But being that they didn't make the playoffs, doesn't bode well to place him in that top 5. But, look, we've got superstar after superstar coming up. Stay tuned, and I'll see you soon.